Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Jen, also known as Blessed Yoga, and today we're going to be flowing through a really nice flow for self-confidence. So if this is something that you've been struggling with at the moment, I know I have. I've had a bit of a dip of low self-esteem, so this is a really nice one to just lift up your vibes, lift up your self-confidence. And yeah, when you're ready, let's hop on our mat and we'll get started. So today we're going to start off lying down. So if you come to a nice, comfy, lying down position, all the way onto your back, let your legs fall out long, hands rest to your side, palms facing upwards. And then just take a big breath in through the nose. And then big sigh out through the mouth. And just take that moment to arrive on your mat. Whether it's the morning, the evening, the middle of the day, wherever it is, just coming into the exact present moment that you're in, feeling the connection between the back of your head and the ground. Your shoulders and the ground. Maybe you have a slight gap in the lower back where your back doesn't touch the mat, and just noticing that space. And then calming down to the hips, onto the bum, feeling that connection with the ground. And then traveling all the way down the legs, noticing where there's space and noticing where there's connection. And then traveling down to the heels of the feet. And just really actively pressing your heels down into the ground. And noticing how the ground supports you, it lifts you up, keeps you stable. And then just noticing what your mind is telling you right now. We always have that chattering mind talking to us. It's always there, like our best friend, chatting in the background. So just noticing what it's doing, what it's telling you. And not trying to force your thoughts one way or the other. Just noticing them rise and then pass. And then I want you to take both hands onto your belly, over your belly button, and start to breathe into that space. With every inhale, puffing up the belly, and every exhale, noticing how the belly falls back down. Continuing like that, inhale, and exhale. Seeing if you can slow down the pace of the breath. Every time you breathe in, trying to make that count a little bit longer. And then doing the same with the exhales. And this area where we have our hands over now, this is our solar plexus. It's our third chakra, and it often stores and holds that space where we have our self-confidence, our confidence to go out in the world and interact with other people, interact with things. And when this space is spinning too fast, we often have a sense of maybe superiority, or we're overworking, or we have, a need to control the things or people around us. And when that wheel, that area, that chakra isn't spinning fast enough, we have the opposite. We lack confidence. We have low self-esteem. We're more fearful than we are normally. You know how we say, we feel it in our gut, or our tummy turns when we're feeling nervous. That's because that's where all our confidence lies in the tummy, in the area that you're holding onto now. And as you continue breathing, I want you to say to yourself in your head, I am confident, I am whole, I am enough. And again, I am confident, I am whole, I am enough. And I want you to make that your intention for today's practice. To spark up that self-confidence, that knowing that you are enough exactly as you are. And then taking both hands, I want you to start making little circles around the belly. Drawing your hands in a circle, moving them around, just gently. Not judging how you're doing it, just going with the flow. And then pausing, slowly drawing your knees up towards your chest. Give yourself a nice hug in, wrapping your arms around your knees. And then maybe drawing your head up towards the knees. Giving yourself a nice squeeze in. And then releasing just the left leg out long to the floor, keeping hold of the right leg and dropping your head back down. And now really wrapping your arms around that leg, squeezing your knee towards your chest. You might feel a little pinching sensation in the hip. That's totally normal. Just observing that. And then if this is enough for you staying here, if you want a little more, you can lift up the left foot. So always keeping your lower back rooted down in the ground, not that arch where I could slide my hand under my back, really sucking in the lower belly, engaging your core, lifting the left leg. And if you want a little more than this, you can come up to kiss your knee to nose, and hug in there. If you want a little more than that, you can take your right hand away from your knee. If this is enough staying here, if you want that little bit extra, taking that left hand away from the knee. Breathing here for 1, for 2, and for 3. Big inhale, big exhale, slowly releasing that left foot down, coming all the way back down and hugging that right knee in. From here we're going to lift up again, so lifting the left foot, lifting your chin or nose towards your knee, and then I want you to float both hands. Then options here is to switch legs. You can either take the right leg out long in line with the left and then the left knee in. If that's too hard, work with scissor legs. So we go right leg out, left knee in. Left leg out, right knee in. 1 more. Right leg out, left knee in. And then hugging that left knee, head comes to the floor, foot comes to the floor. And just squeezing onto that left knee as tight as you can so you get that little pinching so you get that little pinching sensation in the hips. And then from here we work again on the core, lifting up the right foot. If this is enough for you, staying here. If not, you can come up knee to nose. If this is enough, stay here. If you want a little more, float one hand and then the other. And breathing for 3. Big breath in. Don't let that lower belly come. Don't let that lower back come up off the floor. Squeeze it down. And release. Right foot down. Hug the left knee in. Slowly dropping that left hand out to half a T shape, drawing your left leg across the body with the right hand. Coming to your twist. You can look over the left shoulder if that feels good for you. Really trying to root down through the left shoulder, whilst also working that left knee down to the ground. Breathing into the space in the side of the ribs. Seeing if you can soften a little more with every exhale. Last breath, big inhale, expand. Big exhale. And then as you breathe in, taking that left knee back in towards the chest, hug it in. We have one more round of that little core exercise. So we're going to hug the left knee in, lift the right leg, knee to nose, float both hands. You know the options, either bicycle your legs or one leg at a time. We kick the left leg out long, right knee in towards your chest. Right leg out long, left knee in towards the chest. One more, left leg out, right knee in. And then slowly taking the left foot down, hug your right knee in. Dropping that right arm out to half your T shape and drawing that right knee across the body over to the left. If you want, you can look over the right shoulder. And as you breathe in, feel the expansion in the side of the ribs. And as you breathe out, lowering your knee a little closer to the ground. Breathing in and out. Last breath. And then coming in back to center. Hug both knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a nice hug in. And then we're going to take hands underneath the kneecaps, and I want you to start rocking and rolling forwards and backwards. And with every rock and roll, getting a little bigger. Don't worry if you're going a little bit side to side. Just working with it. Every time getting your toes a little bit further over your head. Maybe they nearly touch the floor behind you. 2 more, rolling back and forwards. And last one, and as you come up, I want you to pause in your boat pose. So toes in line with knees, keeping that chest nice and lifted. And then if you can, floating your hands in front of you. Breathing in and out. We've got 2 more breaths here. You've got this. Inhale and exhale. Last breath. And out. Nice. And then we rock all the way back. Keep rocking and rolling. Don't worry about whether it's elegant or not. And then as you come forward next time, you're going to jump all the way back into, or step into your plank. If that's not accessible, just meeting me in a plank pose now. So really trying to push your shoulder blades out of your back. Pushing the heels back away from you. And then dropping your knees down onto the mat, keeping your core engaged, lowering all the way down, keeping elbows wrapped in. Inhale into your low cobra. Exhale down. Taking hands almost as wide as the mat. Inhale, start to lift up without using the hands. Now what happens often here is our feet want to come up off the mat, but really try and keep them rooting down, tops of the feet into the ground. Squeezing your bum. If you can lift a little higher on your inhale, and exhale, release. Tucking toes under, pushing all the way back into your downward facing dog. And this might be your first of the day. If it is, really just pedaling gently through the legs, taking any movements you feel that the body needs. This is my first down dog of the day, so my calves and hamstrings are feeling it. If you're pedaling, really try and send your chest back towards your thighs as you pedal heels down. See how that makes it a little bit harder. Good, bending both knees, look forwards towards your hands. Big step forwards with the right toes and then the left. Inhale to come halfway, hands to shins, bum back, head forwards. Exhale, folding down. And as you inhale, sweep your hands up overhead, look up. And breathing out, taking hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep your hands up overhead, look up. As you exhale, big dive forwards, folding down. Inhale to come halfway. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees if you need to. Taking hands down onto the mat, stepping back with the right toes and then the left. Taking knees down if you need to, or take your full chaturanga all the way down onto your belly. And then taking both hands out in front of you, like making a pillow with your hands. I want you to press your head down into your hands. And then start to refocus on the breath. Did you lose it? What happened to it? Did it maybe get a bit faster as you built up heat in the body? And as you breathe, I want you to feel your belly pushing against the ground, against the mat. Breathing in, puffing out the belly, pushing against the ground. And as you breathe out, just feeling that really nice sinking, softening feeling. Nice, taking hands underneath the shoulders, tucking toes under, pushing all the way back to your down dog. Taking big toes a little bit closer together. Inhale your right leg all the way up to the sky. And then coming forwards, so your shoulders start to stack over the wrists, coming knee to nose. Inhale, kick that right foot up to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Trying to touch your nose to your knee, squeeze in. Inhale, sky. Next one, we're looking forwards, trying to plant your right foot between the hands as lightly as you can. Dropping the back knee down. Inhale, sweep your hands up to the sky. What happened to the breath? Did you lose it? Keeping it soft, keeping it slow. Trying to draw that left hip forwards, right hip back. Turn on that left bum cheek, squeeze it. And then taking hands to heart center. Gently leaning forwards and hooking the left elbow outside the right knee. And then pushing knee to elbow, elbow to knee. Create a really strong connection between them. And then press that top hand into the bottom hand to try and twist further round. And breathe here. 2 more breaths, inhale. Last breath in. And on your next breath in, we're going to release that right hand. Take it all the way to the back of the left thigh and then push the left hand up to the sky. So this is a little challenging on the balance. You should feel that back leg working.
Maybe it's twitching in your hand. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, look up to the top hand. Squeeze your glutes. Good. And then cartwheeling hands all the way down to the ground. Frame that front foot. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. And then you're going to send your right foot all the way up to the sky. Maybe it needs a bit of a shake out. And then take the right foot down. Knees come down. And you're going to send weight forwards, core stays engaged, and lower all the way down onto your belly. Once you get down to your belly, again taking hands out in front of you like a pillow, pressing your head into your hands, and come back to that crocodile, breathing, blowing out the belly into the mat. And then feeling that nice sinking feeling. And as you breathe in next, we go for our first mantra, I am confident. And as your belly sinks into the ground, let that sink into your mind. Next one, breathe in, puff out. I am whole. Let that sink in as your belly sinks. And finally, as you breathe in, I am enough. And let that sink in. Taking hands back underneath the shoulders, re-tuck the toes, push all the way back to your downward facing dog. Stepping big toes slightly closer together. Inhale, left foot comes all the way up to the sky. Trying to get shoulders over wrist, knee to nose. Squeeze there, don't be in a rush. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Again, knee to nose, squeeze it in. Inhale, sky. And then looking forward, stepping your left foot lightly between the hands, drop the right knee down. Inhale, sweep up, blow lunge. Checking your alignment, checking that right hip is in line with the left. We're not sinking into our hips. That right bum cheek is on, it's fired up. As you exhale, take hands to heart center. Start to lean forwards and hook that right elbow over the left knee. Squeezing knee to elbow, elbow to knee. And breathe. Pushing into that top hand to twist you further around. Trying to look the way that we're twisting. Notice if shoulders are up into ears, trying to drop them down away. Give your head and ears some space. And then slowly start to release that left top hand. Take it to the back of the right thigh and send your right hand up to the sky. Thighs, quads, glutes are working. For a little balance challenge, look to the top hand. And then gently cartwheeling hands down, frame the front foot, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee and kick your left foot up to the sky. Shake it out if it needs it. And then taking left toes down to the floor, looking forwards, hop, step, float to the hands. Inhale, come halfway. Exhale, folding. From your forward fold, you're going to start to sweep your hands down to the ground, start to sit back into your chair pose. So it's not too late if you feel like you want to take feet together to touch, knees together to touch, if that's easier for you. Taking hands down to heart center. Sitting back as deep as you can, keeping tailbone tucked under, so we're not sticking our bum out, we're really engaging the core, engaging the quads. And then start to send the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And what's going to happen here is the left knee is going to want to jump forwards, really squeezing these together or squeezing them in place so that they're in a line with one another. And then sit a little deeper. Keep going. Keep breathing. Inhale back to center, hands up, sit back. I know your quads are burning, mine are too, we can do this. Hands to heart center. Start to twist over to the left, right elbow onto the left knee. Pushing the top hand into the bottom hand, checking the knees are in alignment with each other. Sit back, lower, and breathe. Inhale to center. And slowly, slowly straighten your legs. Reach up tall and take hands to heart center. And then pressing your thumbs, Anjali Mudra, into the solar plexus, the stomach, that space just under the rib cage, and close your eyes off. And just notice the beating of your heart. Maybe you can feel it in your belly. Good, gently sweep hands overhead, look up. As you exhale, big swan dive forwards to fold, bend the knees, stepping back, right toes, left toes. Take your knees down and lower all the way onto your belly. And then from here, wiggle your elbows underneath the shoulders, coming into Sphinx pose. Pressing the tops of the feet down into the mat, pressing your hands into the ground. As you inhale, lift the elbows, look up. As you exhale, drop both elbows, same time. Inhale to squeeze up, making sure shoulders are out of ears. Exhale down. Last one, inhale, squeeze up. Exhale to lower. Good. And then if you know full bow and you want to take it, feel free to start grabbing the outsides of the feet. If not, we're going to stay in our Sphinx. Look over the right shoulder, lift the right leg and reach behind. Grab the inside of the right foot and start to kick your foot into your hand. Keeping that right hip down on the floor. Keep kicking, keep breathing. If it's accessible to you, push into the left hand, lift the left elbow. If not, staying down, that's fine. And then slowly release. If you're in your bow pose, take a rest, take a breather. And then we'll go to the left side. If you're in your Sphinx, you're going to look over the left shoulder, kick the left toes up, reach behind, grab the inside of the foot, and then rock that left hip back down. As you inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, kick your foot into your hand, open up a little more. If it's accessible, we lift the elbow. If not, keep it down. Keep breathing, inhale. Exhale, kick. Last breath, inhale. Exhale, kick. Gently release. Taking hands on top of each other, press your head into your hands, wiggle your hips side to side. And reconnect with the breath. Coming back up into your Sphinx pose. So I want you to take the left hand and thread it under the gap in the right arm so that your shoulder is down on the floor and your arm is threaded through. And then take the right knee up. So you're in like half frog pose. From here, you're gonna take the right hand back towards the floor. So we're coming into a twist, just a bit of a fun way getting into it. And then shuffle that left shoulder along the floor a bit more if you need to. Really trying to draw the right shoulder down towards the floor, twisting through the middle of the body. If you need to lift your knee up a bit, you can. Totally up to you, your practice. And for one final breath, inhale and exhale. Rolling all the way back onto our tummies. We're going to use that right hand to help you. Let both legs come back out long. Push into your hand and come back to your Sphinx. We go to the other side. Thread the right arm through the gap on the left side. Keep trying to thread it through. Left knee comes up to half a frog-like position. And then open up the left arm all the way back for your twist. So arms are in a T shape. This left shoulder might be lifted if it is really trying to root it down. That might lift the knee, that's fine too. Just working with what you've got, knowing that what you've got is absolutely perfect as it is. Keep breathing. Last final breath. And then rolling all the way back onto your belly. Unravel your arm. And then from here, you're going to tuck toes under and push yourself back towards a child's pose. And rest here for a second. We're only going to be here for a short while, so enjoy it. And then extending yourself all the way back forwards, we're going to roll onto our backs. Extend your legs out long, hands rest to your sides, coming into Shavasana corpse pose. Maybe tucking shoulders towards each other underneath you to lift your chest a little higher. We go palms up to receive energy. Palms down if you've got enough and you're storing it for yourself. And just really relaxing the body down, releasing any control that you are holding over the body, over the breath, over that chattering mind. Coming back to that place where we let thoughts rise, we observe them and then we let them pass. And whilst you're lying there in your Shavasana, I want you to take a moment over the past week where maybe you haven't felt like you're enough, or you haven't felt confident in doing something. And just bring that moment to the forefront of your mind. And then I want you now to try and think of an alternative way that you could have looked at that situation, in which you know that whatever you do your best at, and you give your all to, and whatever you do and whatever you give is enough. We often spend so much time beating ourselves up for the things we could have done better, or we could have acted cooler, or I don't know. But just knowing that confidence starts from within. It's in that space in your belly. And that's why our nervous system and our digestive system is so linked to our feelings of nerves, which also means that it's linked to our thoughts. So what we put into our body and eat is also really important to keeping a healthy, confident, balanced life. Taking both hands back onto your belly. Starting to breathe into that space once more. Seeing if you can send your kindness through your hands into that space. All that love that you've manifested in your practice, send it right there. And then gently wiggling the toes. Take your knees up and towards your chest. Give yourself a nice hug in. And then however you want to get there, gently coming back up into a nice tall seat. Either taking a soft gaze down onto the floor or keeping the eyes closed. We're going to sweep hands up overhead, take palms together to touch. And then draw your thumbs all the way down past your heart into that solar plexus, into that space underneath the ribs. And really press the thumbs into it. And we'll finish with our mantra for today. As you breathe in, I am strong. As you breathe in, I am confident. Breathing in, I am whole. Last one, breathe in. I am enough. Taking hands back to heart center, bowing the head, bowing the chest. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys, for coming to practice with me. If you liked this video, give it a little thumbs up. And if you have any requests for the following coming videos, then please just drop them in the comments section below. I'm always happy to take on your advice and your requests. So have a good day, have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you back on the mat very soon.